Thank you, Mr. Weber. It's a pleasure to be here with you today, and thanks to all my colleagues for their eloquent discussion of this issue today. It's clear to me, without any question, that the proximate cause of this crisis are the policies of the Biden administration and the failure and refusal of Secretary Mayorkas to simply do his job. But Democrats nationwide are taking notice, and they're beginning to acknowledge that there is a crisis. And not only that, but they're beginning to acknowledge that the crisis is a result of the Biden administration's open border policies. We saw this just a week and a half ago when House Resolution 957, my resolution denouncing the Biden administration's open policies, was not just supported by Republicans, but it was supported by 14 Democrats. Democrats from Washington State, from Alaska, from Florida, not just from Texas. People across the nation are beginning to understand what we know in Texas to be true, and that there is clearly an invasion. Even so, the Biden administration continues to ignore this reality, and it resists exercising its executive powers to address this crisis. Instead, its executive energy is spent and focused on fighting Texas in its effort to secure the border, and deflecting and defending its atrocious record, and claiming money is the cause of all this. That's all I hear from the Biden administration is, well, we need more money. We need more money. We're spending money at an all-time high for border security, yet what we are seeing is an all-time high of encounters. And there's only one reason for that, and it started January 20th of 2021, and that's the open border policies. Speaker Mike Johnson has laid out 64 specific actions that President Biden took, executive actions, that he could undo. And every one of those actions since January 20th, 2021 undermined the border security of this nation. This is not an immigration processing issue. This is a border security, a national sovereignty, and a national security issue. It must be solved, and it can be solved immediately. Congressional action is important, but its necessity would be less critical if the president would simply step up and do his job. If Secretary Mayorkas would step up and enforce the laws that are already on the books. Congressional action is not a substitute for that executive action. And it cannot be an excuse for the administration to simply say, we're going to wait and see if there's a deal. A deal doesn't need to be made. He can make those decisions today under 212F. Secretary Mayorkas can enforce the law today, the laws that are already on the books. These things that we're working on in Congress are a supplement to what we need to happen. We want to bring that number down to zero. It's imperative that we continue calling out the Biden administration for its failure to follow the law and its failure to enforce the laws and to turn its back on the American people. We need to hold Secretary Mayorkas accountable this week and in the months to come. And we need to pass the key provisions of H.R. 2. There's no question about it. The safety and security and the sovereignty of our nation is at stake and on the line. With that, we are grateful. We stand with Governor Abbott. We stand to hold the line, and we are grateful for all those across the nation who would do the same. This is indeed the crisis of our time. Thank you for being here today.